Chapter 10, Health and Diet. Our nutrition and lifestyle choices can influence the developing of chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, hypertension, cancer, diabetes, and osteoporosis. What does it mean to be healthy? Health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. The six components of health are physical, mental, social, emotional, environmental, and spiritual health. Disease. Disease is defined as an impairment of the normal state of a living animal or one of its parts. There are two types of disease, acute and chronic. Acute disease comes abruptly and are short, sometimes severe, like bronchitis. Chronic disease are slow onset and long in duration, such as diabetes, asthma, and cancer. Genetics. All diseases have a genetic component. Diseases occur from the interaction of genes, environmental, nutritional, and lifestyle factors. The Human Genome Project and Nutritional Genomics. The Human Genome Project is an international research effort to determine the DNA sequence of the entire human genome. Nutritional genomics is the study of how foods affect our genes. They let us know how much diet influences the balance between healthy and disease states may depend on an individual's genetic makeup. The workings of DNA and genes. DNA is the genetic makeup of all humans. Nucleotides make up DNA. This is an example of a mutation. Osteoporosis. What is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis literally means porous bones, which means holes in the bones. That could be a good definition of the disease since the bone mass declines through the process of osteoporosis, leaving the bones more susceptible to fractures. This disease is known as a silent killer because it progresses over years and does not have any outward symptoms immediately. Risk factors of osteoporosis. As children, we're told to drink our milk so we could grow up to be big and strong. Unknowingly, that applied to our bones. As a child, if you do not reach your peak bone mass, there will be the development of osteoporosis. There are many interpretations about what is and is not a risk factor of this disease. The risk factors are advanced age, being a female, a family history, having a smaller frame, and early menopause. Although these are not all the risk factors, we should watch what we do to our bodies as we age. Reducing the risk of osteoporosis. With all the risk of osteoporosis, one might want to know, are there any ways to prevent the progression of the disease? In order to reduce the risk, there would have to be some lifestyle changes that take effect. Some helpful lifestyle changes would be consuming foods with nutrients such as vitamins A, D, and calcium. Furthermore, there would need to be some exercise that takes place as well. Cardiovascular disease. What is cardiovascular disease? Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the US and Canada and claims more than all forms of cancer combined. When someone is diagnosed with cardiovascular disease, which is formerly known as coronary heart disease or CHD for short, they first will have atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis is the slow progressive hardening of the arteries due to deposits of fat and other substances in the arteries. When the arteries are hardened over the long period of time, it can cause chest pain and heart attacks. What are the risk factors of CHD? When discussing risk factors of having CHD, there are two types of risk. The type you can control, which are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, weight, and sedentary lifestyle. Also, there are risk factors that cannot be controlled, such as age and family history. How to reduce the risk of CHD. There are 7 things that your healthcare provider would recommend to you. Consuming a healthy diet, maintain a healthy cholesterol level, aim for healthy weight, aim for a healthy blood pressure, be physically active, aim for a normal blood sugar, and avoid exposure to and avoid tobacco use. Hypertension. What is hypertension? It's the silent killer. Chronic blood pressure can be essential or secondary. Essential is the lack of obvious care. Secondary results from a larger problem. Ways to reduce hypertension would be a diet, limiting alcohol consumption, checking blood pressure regularly, and follow diet and lifestyle recommendations. The risk factors for hypertension are as follows: obesity, high sodium intake, race, genetics, and age. Diabetes mellitus. What is diabetes mellitus? It's a disorder of carbohydrate metabolism, which causes hyperglycemia, which in definition is abnormally high blood glucose levels. There are 2 types of diabetes. Type 1, which is normally diagnosed in people under 30 and genetic, and type 2, which is adult onset diabetes. There's also gestational diabetes, which is found in pregnant women. Diabetes mellitus, which is hypoglycemia due to low blood sugar. The way to manage this is healthy eating, physical activity, glucose testing. What are the risk factors for diabetes? They are as follows: age, obesity, ethnicity, and hypertension. Metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? It's a combination of medical abnormalities due to obesity and lack of physical activity. It often leads to cardiovascular disease or type 2 diabetes. Plaque hardens and narrows in the arteries, reduces blood flow to the heart muscle. Risk for chronic disease increases as blood pressure, weight, glucose, and cholesterol increases. The signs and symptoms of metabolic syndrome are a large waistline, high triglyceride levels, low high density cholesterol, high blood pressure, high fasting blood sugar. Cancer. What is cancer? It's a group of over 100 diseases. Cancer cells invade tissues, spread throughout the bloodstream, invade lymphatic system, and other parts of the body. Cells divide when they are not needed to form tissue, and that becomes a tumor. The risk factors of cancer. Carcinogens, which are agents which cause cancer. 20 to 30% of cancers are caused by poor diet and lack of physical activity, like foods in high fat, high intake of red meat, high intake of processed meat can all cause cancer. Sedentary behavior, like extreme alcohol use and smoking, are also causes of cancer. Preventative measures for cancer. Maintain a healthy weight within lifespan, adopt a physically active lifestyle, eat a healthy diet, limit alcohol consumption, and do not smoke.